get a chance to catch up with an old friend of mine that I haven't seen in a long time. I've chatted with him on the phone, and of course, I've been following him on social media. He's had a very interesting off season. Did some indoor races. He was out at Fort Wayne driving a car for Tony Stewart. Actually led 28 of 40 laps before something went wrong there. He was driving the car that he bought for his son in Atlantic City. Something happened there that was not race related. They've got something else they picked up for his son, and we're going to talk about his plans this year. Joey Payne is now 58 years old. The photo you're looking at right now, that is him, of course, on the left. That is his wife, Kimmy, on the right, and it's a fan in the background who's obviously did a pretty good job at photobombing this one. So let's head out to Brick, New Jersey. Joey Payne joins us. Joey, how are we doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Doug?
Doing very well. Well, I guess let's just get what we were just joking about, because I think at some point you have to take something like this and just joke about it. How's your health? Told me you had a problem. Was it down at Atlantic City?
Yeah, I just recently got an indoor car for Anthony, and he was working. He couldn't make it, so I warmed the car up, and everything went good. The car was pretty fast, and we went to dinner Thursday night, the whole crew, and after dinner, I wound up with a kidney stone and wound up in the hospital for 2 days in Atlantic City.
Had you had one before?
I did about 30 years ago.
Really?
But, yeah, they're back.
Yeah, that's a long. Hopefully they'll be able to figure out what that is and get you back. And you and I were joking. Of course, any man who's had a kidney stone and gone through the procedure, it's something you never forget, isn't it?
No, I don't want to do that again. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. You said there's one on the other side. They'll take care of that, and then you'll be good to go?
Yeah, I have another procedure April 4th after my cruise. We're going on a cruise for vacation March 9th. And when I get back, we'll blast that one. Well, however many are in there. I don't even know how many are in there. But they're going to blast them, and hopefully I could get back to a normal life, because been a lot of hospitals and doctors in the last couple of months.
And you need to take this seriously. I mean, nobody wants to lose a kidney. I mean, let's be honest, right? As much as it's a major inconvenience, it has to be done.
Oh, it has to be, yes. And my dad had kidney failure and was on dialysis for 11 years, and
so
I do not want ever to do that.
Yeah, so I'm praying everything goes well. Make sure to let me know after April, because Joey and I share that. We both went through the same thing. So you probably wish you could have heard that, but I'm never going to put our off-season or our off-mic conversation, but I would never put it on this channel. So ask us sometime. We'll tell you some stories about what it's like. Told me we were doing real well down in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, we, Tony wound up calling me, I guess it was in October, the end of October, and I drive his other Munchkin, the one Rico Abreu drove, and Tony called me, and he said, I got a problem. He needed shoulder surgery, and he asked me, he says, what do you want to do? You want to drive your car, or you want to drive my car? And my car it's got a big Volkswagen in it, and it's really hard to get to the track, and his has a smaller Volkswagen in it, and I told him, I said, I'd rather drive yours, and so I wound up driving his. We practiced really good, won the heat race, and started second in the feature, took the lead on like the third lap, and I was just biding my time. I got challenged a couple times and took the lead back, and I think it was lap 28. I went into turn one, and the right front slid up the track a little bit, and I got on the gas to exit turn two, and I got into more oil and turned the car sideways, and right in the wall I went, and that was the end of our night. Man,
that had to be disappointing. I mean, you because this was what, like 12 laps to go or something like that?
Yeah, it was. It was disappointing, and I mean, I don't crash race cars when I'm leading races.
Right.
And it was very, very, very upsetting and discouraging. I thought something broke on the car, but after the race, Tony told me, he said both right side tires were shiny when I went in the corner, and it just didn't hook up. The left rear hooked up and drove the car right in the wall.
So that's disappointing in a different way, because that sounds like there was just wrong place, wrong time definition of it.
I was the first guy to the oil. That's what it boils down to. If I was fifth in line, I wouldn't have crashed.
Yeah, you would have watched the leader crash.
I went in the corner, slid up the track, got on the gas, and hit the wall.
Do we feel at least a little better about that, knowing that it kind of wasn't your fault?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was all apologetic to Tony, and Tony's like, you couldn't have done anything. What are you worried about? And I was like, I'm driving Tony Stewart's car, and I wrecked Tony Stewart's car. That's what's bothering me.
Yeah, never want to wreck anybody else's car. I mean, wrecking your own car is one thing. We still don't like to do that either, but when it's somebody's ride, you do feel a little worse about it, don't you?
Absolutely. I grew up working on all my own race cars, and I know what it takes to take apart a car that's bent and put it back together, and I don't like doing that. And it happens, but it only happens to me once in a while.
And that was a winning car, obviously, too, which makes you feel worse about it.
Yep, absolutely.
So what's next after you get all this done in April? What's the next thing you might suit up and drive?
We are going to put the Penix 14 back on track this year. I picked it up right before the Classic last year, and we'll have that ready to go, and looking to run some, probably maybe once or twice a month.
Okay.
I don't want to do the full. I don't want to do the full deal.
5-6 races, maybe something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And if we wind up getting another engine, like like an ISMA engine, I wouldn't mind strapping the wing on and doing some ISMA racing.
Yeah, and you told me you have a 3-tier wing, so you said that extra downforce almost means you really need more power if you want to win with the ISMA package.
Yeah, these some of the ISMA engines they're up close to 1,000 horsepower, and
seriously.
And I got a very good Oswego engine. I mean, it's top tier, and I just don't feel you're strongly competitive with an Oswego engine on the ISMA tour.
Okay. You heard about the changes. They're taking the wicker bill away off the wing. They're doing a little angle, and they're changing that right front. These big changes or little changes in your mind?
I think a softer right front and no wicker bill is gonna slow you down a lot, because the car's gonna turn in better, and you're not gonna have any downforce in the back to have the back of the car planted. So, I think it's good. Like I said, it's going to slow them down, but I hope it doesn't free the back of the car up way too much, and everybody winds up spinning out and crashing.
Okay. About 2 minutes left, Joey. So are we talking about a blank sheet of paper as far as setups, or are we talking about maybe just like a stagger change, and maybe that's about it then, as you sit there and think about it?
No, I think definitely a stagger change. With the wicker, we used to run a lot of stagger. I think we're going to back the stagger down and maybe a little bit more wedge, and I think it's going to be trial and error.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's just testing, and you might have to throw one night away and use that as a test.
No Fast Friday then, or we have to test on a race night, do you think?
Well, I mean, we could test on Friday, but it's I miss a day's work, and it's not really worth it to me.
So probably more testing on an early Saturday, as early as you can get, and get as many laps as you can. And like you said, start with a little less stagger, take some notes, and see what you can figure out, right?
Take some nose wing out of it. That'll help.
Yep, that's another thing the guys have mentioned.
Go from there.
Take an angle or a different wing altogether.
Well, you could put a smaller wing on, because I know some of the wings their guys are running are like the tail wing now.
Yeah, they're pretty wide.
just a ton of downforce.
Okay.
So without the wicker and less angle, you're going to want a smaller nose wing and not a lot of angle.
Well, let me know when you're coming up. We'll chat like the week before, let everybody know. And good luck with everything in April. And hopefully you and I will shake hands and go, hey, how you doing? You're going to say good, and I'm going to say good too, right? And we're going to beat it, right?
Exactly.
Getting old stinks, doesn't it, Joey?
Exactly. I turned 55. I've never been in the hospital, really, never really sick. I turned 55. The last 3 years have been hospital room after hospital room, and I'm tired of it.
Well, let's hope for a nice, boring summer then. How's that?
Yeah, exactly.
You take care of yourself,
nice,
man.
Boring summer behind the wheel.
I like that. Yeah, nothing exciting. Well, except for maybe Victory Lane photos. But, guys, make sure to subscribe, turn on the notifications, hit the like, leave a comment if you'd like, and we'll be getting together with more of your favorite drivers here soon. Joey, good luck with everything. Thanks again for your time, man.
All right, Doug. Thank you for having me on. Always a pleasure, and look forward to seeing you soon.